borderline personality disorder. What a motherfucker. I have forgotten to tell you about the second part of the week. Slipped my mind. So, in case you did not see part 1, I'll bring you up to speed. Previously on Mr. BPD. Mr. BPD wandered to the hospital after believing that nobody liked him. He had intended to kill himself, but like a big giant pussy did not. Choosing, rather, to whine like a little bitch to a nurse and get himself locked up for being suicidal. They did not take him very seriously though, because in less than 12 hours he was released. I think that's where we were. So now, the chilling conclusion. Here's part 2. They have some mental health people come to see me. Ask me if I plan on, killing myself anymore. I'm feeling like an idiot. I mean, I've been sitting there for like 8-9 hours. Yes, I was still planning on killing myself. I was still having suicidal thoughts, for sure. They didn't go away. But was I going to kill myself? No. I'd come to the realization that I was a complete pussy, and that if I was going to do it, I would have done it already. So as much as I wanted to do it, I didn't want to do it enough, or it'd be done. So my little crying out for attention was over. Nobody cared. They just wanted me to move on. So I said the right answer. No, I'm feeling better now. That 7 hours really changed me mentally. Ooh, I'm cured, doc. And I was back out on the street. They handed me a packet of information, crisis lines, whatever. Well, I had nowhere to go. I mean, I wasn't planning on going back home. So now I'm just homeless on the streets. I don't like being homeless on the streets. I really don't. So I decide that I look through their little packet of information, and they had suggested that I go stop by their mental health office. Well, it's right down the road. I got nowhere to go anyway, so I go in there. Where they informed me of where the gospel mission is, which is where I got this lovely shirt. Yes, more on that later. So they informed me on where the gospel mission is, where I can get 3 meals a day, a mandatory shower, with a bed. Perfect, that'll work, right? Then they find a caseworker or whatever that can help me out, can actually see me same day. It'll just be 5 hours later from the time I've gone in. It's like 9 o'clock and they can't see me till 2:30. Alright, I'll go down to the gospel mission, get my bed all ready, and then jump back over to the health center. I show up at the mission, and they really just don't seem to care that I am there. Story of my life, right? I mean, the mental health people had already called them and told them I was coming down. And I show up and they just look at me like, what the fuck are you doing here? Why are you here? And I tell them my situation. Like, I was having suicidal thoughts, but I'm a little better, but I'm homeless. And the mental health people told me to come here. Well, come back at 6. Check-in's not till 6. Get the fuck out of here till 6. So I'm sent away from the mission. Like, only place left on the planet, I feel like, that will accept me and take me in, and they shove me away like everybody else. So I go back up to the mental health place, where I still have 2 hours to wait. So I get seen by the mental health people. And there's really nothing they can do for me. Well, not the person I'm talking to. Nothing that they can do for me. So then I go down to the gospel mission afterwards, where they run me through the rules. You must shower. Apparently there's a problem with homeless people not showering and stinking. First night's free, but after that you have to earn your bed. How do you earn your bed? You do chores. Yeah, chores. For 4 hours. That's how much they want you to work. 4 hours. And you can't hang out there during the day. You can only be there. They say check-ins at 6. That's when the day room opens. They don't let you go to bed until like 9 o'clock. Then they wake you up at 6:30 in the morning. They feed you something. They kick your ass out to go wander around the streets until 6 o'clock the next day. But in the meantime, you have to make sure you fit in your 4-hour chore. I'm not opposed to working, per se. I mean, not anymore. I mean, my Klamath Falls experiment has completely gone off the rails. I am not promoting that product. I'd actually say not to buy that. I prefer the other. But, this was bought before me. There, no more promoting. Now it's just a carbonated cola beverage. I'm not opposed to work anymore. I mean, but I want to get paid for work now. That's a switch from a year ago. They have day work you can do at the mission. You can put your name on a list, and if work becomes available, then you can go out on jobs. They pay $10 an hour. I can't get jobs like that, though, because they want me to be in the kitchen from 2:30 until like 5:30, I think. No, 2:30, 3:30, 6:30. Well, all the jobs take place in the afternoon, so I'll miss my chore, then I won't get a bed. I'm pretty much stuck at the mission all day, or around the mission until I have my chore, because I can't go anywhere because I won't make it back in time for my chore. Well, to make a long story short, the mission is not that bad of a place if you've got nowhere else to go. After 4 days at the mission doing my chores and what they wanted, the problems I had had with my friend didn't seem to be as big of problems. I mean, we hadn't gotten in, I really wasn't kicked out, I just kind of left on my own, and I was starting to question if anything had really even happened, or if I was just crazy and now in a homeless shelter. I could just very well possibly be insane, ran away from home and was in a homeless shelter. I didn't know. So I decided I will return home, and I will see how it goes. If I return home and I walk in, and they're like, "Get the fuck out of here, you motherfucker," and punch me in the face, then I know that something had really gone on. But if I walk in and they rush to me with arms wide open, crying and sobbing, happy of my return, then I'll know there wasn't a problem. I did not get either one of those reactions. I got kind of a mixture of both when I came back home. I came in and, well, first off, my friend's wife is all, "See, honey, I told you shouldn't have rented his room out." And there's some dude just sitting on the couch, and they're like, "Yeah, he's got your room, he paid rent." And then my friend's all, "I should punch you in the face for making us worry about you like that. Apparently they'd been looking for me for about 3 days since I didn't return. As far as they knew, I guess the reality of the situation had been that they had just they had wanted some adult time. And they needed me out of the house to have that. So they had suggested that I go somewhere for an hour or so. I had taken that wrong and wound up in a homeless shelter. Yeah, borderline personality disorder. Play with your head. Or they're lying and covering it up. And they had told me to leave, and now they're trying to mess with my mind. I don't know. Me being crazy thing logically makes more sense, I think. But who knows? So that is that story. Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. It kind of concerns me. It makes me think that my condition might be getting worse. I really got nothing to say. I don't know what to make of that. Maybe some of you have some advice. What do you think? I'm really confused on this one. I could use some advice. Even more than that, though, I could really use some money. There's a link in the description below where you can go and support this channel if you want. Financially support this channel. I mean, really support this channel. This is kind of like when you go to church and they're like, we're not asking you to pay for the church and the sermons and all the pretty music that you heard. See, I'm not asking you to pay for these videos or the messages that I send or whatever. But if you really feel that you need to, I'm not going to tell you no. Anyway, until next time, don't go crazy and wind up in a homeless shelter. Don't do it.